practice, and we'll get started. And this is my attempt at truly keeping this at 10 minutes. So here we go. I've made the camera so you can see my full body. This practice is something I taught in a class this morning with Angela Pryor's studio. If any of you took it, you'll recognize. And it blends some practices from Thich Nhat Hanh mindful movement series and just movements that I have come to enjoy and practice myself. So not quite yoga, but a presence with each movement that we do that is centered and thoughtful. Also, we were breathing the whole time like you might in yoga class. So our feet are underneath our hips, focused breath like in yoga class. But our joints get to move in a lot more free fashion. So we're not sturdy in these movements, rather we're fluid. So the first movement that we'll do now is to, with knees lightly bent, inhale and lift your arms up to shoulder height. Exhale and lower them down. And you can link your breath with the movements, inhaling up and exhaling down, or you can move at a slower or faster pace than your breath, continuing to keep awareness at both of those things, that we're moving and we're breathing. You'll notice in a lot of these practices, I like to close my eyes. You're certainly welcome to do that as a way of sensing, feeling over instead of thinking and seeing. Now as you breathe in, second activity is to lift your arms all the way overhead, and then to exhale the arms down. Keeping a light bend in your knees, and actually just point your head forward so that the motion is purely about the joints of the upper body. And notice I'm allowing all of my joints to move as they want to. We'll continue that motion of the arms, but now we'll begin to look up as you lift your arms, and to look more down as you lower them. Knees are still lightly bent just so that our muscles of our legs are turned on. Arms float back down to your sides. Take a moment to pause and feel the effects. We'll bring our knees to a slightly greater bend, so our legs are working slightly more. Our legs engaged, belly drawn in. And from this stance, we'll inhale, we'll reach our arms up until maybe palms or fingertips touch overhead. And then exhale, press the air down at your sides. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, they press down. Remembering to allow your joints to move how they want to. Take about 3 more motions. We'll straighten our knees. We'll bring hands to a heart center, an easy prayer position. Taking a moment or two here. Now we'll move to our middle torso. You'll bring your feet wider. Your hands at your belly. Middle fingers can find your belly button actually, and then the palms find the belly. Shoulders relax down. Your hands are almost your guide to tilt you over to the side, back, over to the side, and forward. So now you're circling your hips from the side. It's looking something like this, and your intention is to just allow the hips to move how they want to. Switch directions. We're at 6 minutes. Great, we're gonna come back to center neutral, feet back underneath your hips, arms down at your sides, and give your whole body a good wiggle shake. You might jump around a little bit if that feels good to you. Okay. And now I'll show you from the side again that we're going to lift the heels, lower the heels, and lift the toes. So if you're choosing to do this in a chair, maybe you're just doing the foot part and you're rolling on your feet. Okay. So as you lift and lower, allow the rest of your body to respond how it wants to. My hands naturally want to move as well. I'm going to let them. And now I'm going to bring my hands to hips. This is an option to keep doing what you have been doing, or to stabilize your upper body a bit more, focusing on the calf raise. And to challenge yourself, if you like, by closing your eyes. The moment I close my eyes, I feel all of the areas that my ankles or knees, or it could be even your hips, feel a little more weak. So now I know about those areas, and I can really focus as I move through those spaces. And take 3 more. Great. And then we'll bring our feet wide again. Going to bend your knees, so you're in this little squat position. And we're going to send our way over to the right as you reach to that right. Okay, and I'll just start with both of my arms kind of down and loose. So I'll breathe in. I'm breathing and moving. Notice that you could be doing the same gesturing, especially from the upper body, with your feet placed wide, seated in a chair. Slow down that motion. Reaching perhaps a little further. Go super slow. Bring both of your hands back to center, body somewhere. Heel to your feet back to underneath your hips. Take a moment to just stand comfortably, to feel the effects of that easy movement practice. We'll seal off class taking a big reach of our arms overhead Exhale, hands to heart, bending the knees for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, thank you so much for being here.